It's time.
Damn it, we are here with Samson. Samson, welcome back to the show.
Good to be back. Always good to be back. You still look like a Bulgarian sex trafficker.
Don't I look different now with this?
Yeah, no, you've definitely changed.
Now I'm a Russian sex trafficker.
And I mean, well, I guess we're the guys. You're the guy buying the woman behind the glass shield.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy watching the porno.
Yeah, he's the jerk off booth guy.
You're the
Samson.
voyeur. I'm the fucker. You're the businessman.
Oh,
Exactly.
I'm all business. So you were, you've been going crazy online. I've been looking at your Instagram.
Right.
You're
Exactly.
a goddamn lunatic. However, even a lunatic is right a couple times a day. And I want to discuss with you a lot of the theories that you've been bringing up online that has forced this guy to lose sleep. Number one, COVID. Let's talk about that.
Well, fuck. I mean, look, I think the virus is real, but a lot of people. Now I'm quoting Trump. A lot of people have been saying that maybe the lockdown measures are, I guess, out of proportion in some regards.
Some places, yeah.
But that's not really what I went into. Like, I'm not a scientist, so the minute I get into the minor details / the important details, that's when people can get me.
Yeah.
So I like to look at things from a broad perspective and take a step back and look at the big picture and be like, all right, we need some blue collar, regular individual outlook on this versus, too much intellectual mincing of words. For example, the thing about,
These goddamn nerds. You're tired of these fucking nerds.
Yeah, I'm tired of the nerds. But yeah, no, the COVID thing, like, I think I made some good points. I don't know if they were that funny, though.
Well, yeah, that's what...
It caught your attention, I guess. But you also told me, like, I've made good points and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you reached out and stuff. Yeah, like, nothing too controversial. Like, I never wrote, like, oh, fuck old people. We should just live our lives.
No. You never said shit like that.
But just things like, there was one article in the news where the CEO of the Jewish General Hospital said that he compares COVID to the seasonal flu.
That's the one that we spoke on. That's the one that I reached out to you for because people were mad at that guy. And then he's
I think he's an OG.
I'm just saying I was shocked because he was on the news. He was just saying, look, I'm relaying the statistics I have from my hospital, which has been the epicenter of COVID in the city. I'm just relaying the information. He goes, I'm not taking a side. I'm telling you, this is what it looks like based on the evidence we have. And everybody started attacking him. So when you posted that, that's when I looked into it. I was like, oh, fuck, poor guy. He didn't go on with an agenda of it's fake. It's this. He just said, look, these are the stats I have from my hospital. And then everyone went crazy.
What he did was actually so gangster, I find, because the way he described COVID was he didn't say that COVID was not as bad as the seasonal flu. What he said was, guys, let's not forget how relevant the seasonal flu is, though.
Yeah.
So he tried to diminish the overreaction to COVID by simply emphasizing the importance of something else.
Yeah.
So that's a sneaky way to let the people who want the
just
truth
calm down a bit.
Me?
No. I mean, that's what he was. No. Because what I got from him is he was telling. No, you're fine. He was telling people to calm down a bit because that was when the panic started to hit again. People started to freak out a bit. So he's like, listen, guys, every year we go through something. Just calm the fuck down. We'll get through this. And I liked his approach. I didn't mind the guy's approach.
But here's the fucked up thing. Then the media came back at him and said, no apology, but offers clarification.
Yeah.
And then
what's he going to apologize for?
That's the thing. It's like, it's like when scientists were arguing with Galileo back in the day saying, no, the world is flat. When he finally got everybody on board with the world is round, you didn't get scientists coming over who devoted their whole lives to being academic scholars. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. Like, no, they just add to the data and they build off of it. That's how they work. You're not supposed to apologize for theorizing something like you even pointed out based on the data he had available.
He didn't say anything fake. He said, this is the data I have available. This is what I'm saying. I didn't take him as like it's a hoaxer. He never said any of that shit. They made it seem like he said that because it makes a good headline, but he never said any of that stuff. And
I'm enjoying this. This is actually the drink they poured on Hot Tub Time Machine from Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
Tim Bark.
I watched it not too long ago, actually. Rewatched it. But also recently, we were talking about this morning, in Russia Today, they posted an article. A couple of scientists, where was it? Oxford. They said that 1 in 5 people who survived COVID that they tested, 1 in 5 had serious mental problems that they started to develop. And they went on to detail what they describe as serious mental problems. They categorize it anything from extreme OCD to PTSD. So I don't know how that really translates to, does that have anything to do with the fact that they had COVID? But they said that 1 in 5 of people who had COVID tested had severe mental problems.
Really?
That makes it scary because then that goes back to my theory in the beginning. I go, imagine this is like a crazy zombie type of thing. So whoever dies from it, it comes back to life 3 months later.
Yeah, that'll
That's
be
gonna be
crazy.
some like biblical shit. They're gonna be like some sort of a reference to like Revelations or something.
But it was just nuts when I saw that this morning. I was like, oh fuck! So it's not over yet. We don't know if they're serious. This could just be a miscalculation. But I'm saying if they're serious, then we really don't know the long term effects of this.
Yeah, but this can also be.
We don't though. We don't. There's doctors. My friend's mom's a doctor, and she watches the news, and she's like, "How could they say that COVID could have lifelong impacts if we've only known about the virus for 2 months?" Like
Yeah,
just commonsensical shit like that. And by the way, she has a lot to lose. The fact that she even uttered that, like people don't realize, like doctors, when they say that when the state goes bad, like doctors follow suit.
Yeah.
What they mean to say is like doctors have so much to fucking lose. Especially, you would think the younger doctors would have more empathy because they were just part of the regular population, so they were fresh, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not about being like jaded. It's about, you know, now they have especially so much to lose, the newer doctors, because they just got out of school, they just busted their ass, took Adderall every day for 5 years, and now they're gonna have it all ripped away because they said one bad thing, you know.
Yeah, they shouldn't be scared. I think scientists, doctors, they should be allowed to express their opinion. And I don't. Here's the thing. I completely understand how dangerous it is if you go tell people this is a fucking hoax. Go out there, man. No masks. And okay, yeah, of course, because now you're putting people in danger because you don't know if their underlying condition could kill them.
6 feet, by the way. Up.
But yeah, you don't know if their underlying condition could kill them, right? You don't know what the fuck's going on. So I agree with that. But to just be like, okay, let's look at the stats. Maybe no one's saying stop taking measures. What we're saying is you don't have to lose your head over this because of X, Y, Z reason. And that's how I feel. I feel like if you're taking the precautions right now, you do not have to panic and lose sleep over what if I get it and I die. And just calm the fuck down. Let's take the necessary
Meanwhile,
precautions.
fucking last night, for example, I'm so, what do you call it? Not dehydrated. Lack of sleep. Whatever the fuck the word is.
You're
Insomniac.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I'm just thinking, like, you know, last night I took an Ativan at like 4 a.m. You know, I'm just fucking. I said, fuck it. I don't care if I'll be groggy the next morning. I need to get some sleep. Then it hit me like fucking Hunter Biden is smoking crack at 7 p.m. and he's fucking sleeping in a bathtub right now. Like, how is it that I can't sleep with this fucking guy? And let me ask you,
he's wheeling and dealing, making deals with the Chinese and the Ukrainians.
has anybody addressed this? Like, who takes selfies when they're on meth or crack or whatever? I think it was meth because he's white. So.
Yeah, you know, he smoked crack and meth, but he took meth and crack. But I mean, he's a white guy. He's got to take a selfie.
Meth is a white guy's drug, I think, right?
Did you see the mirror selfie where his dick is hanging out and he just takes it?
No.
That was the one that I first saw on Twitter. It's just him in front of a mirror taking a selfie with his dick hanging out.
Fuck, I never got on Twitter.
You're not a Twitter guy.
Yeah.
Twitter's just a lot of hate. Twitter's just very aggressive.
I like menus with pictures. I was always a visual guy. You know? Like Sheikh Hora, big
Instagram.
fan. Exactly. That's why I like Instagram. Facebook became a little like LinkedIn, but for people that have no lives.
Yeah, Facebook, it's a
got off,
different
man.
dynamic.
I got sick of it.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I just go on my like the fan page that I have just to post, there's a new podcast, stuff like that. I don't do regular Facebook.
Yeah.
I have a Messenger app, but that's it. Like I don't actually do regular Facebook.
Yeah. I would say for Messenger only I use it. And even like sometimes you'll find a nice video on there, you know.
Yeah, it's not what it is, but same. It does feel like weird LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even LinkedIn, fuck. I mean, I find there's always like influencers on LinkedIn that they want to convince you that they're the world's best salesman and here's how. And it's like, I thought this was for me to send people my CV, not fucking, you know, see a guy who became religious out of nowhere and then randomly like runs LinkedIn now.
Have you noticed that shit that people out of nowhere sometimes just turn
religious out of nowhere,
religious, but like hardcore into something that they didn't even know.
And to something that doesn't match up with their past history whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then again, you get some guys like they're sick of their lives being like, we're all, I mean, I don't know. You have your shit together pretty well, but like, I guess we could relate on this. Like there's like issues in our lives perhaps that like we've tried to get over. And then have you ever had moments of desperation where you're like, fuck, what if I just go back to my like roots? Would that solve all my problems? And then you think, okay, that could work. And then you see a video of like Jerusalem with like religious Jews running out of a fucking brothel. And you're like, all right, well, that's not going to fucking solve my problem, I guess.
If you let me near a brothel.
Hey.
Well, the science thought of
anyone.
resetting. No, religion won't save you. You have to have common sense. And also, why are you doing the things in your religion? So I've noticed growing up, I knew a lot of people who were very religious. And I noticed, I think right after high school and speaking with certain people, that the reason why they would do stuff is not because they thought it was the right thing to do, it's because they were scared of making God angry or going to hell. And I was like, well, if you're doing something out of fear, not because you think it's the right thing to do, then I don't think that makes you a good person, or I don't think you're doing this for the right reasons.
Right, it's like there's a gun to your head and you're just doing what you're told.
Yeah, so you're not helping because you think it's the right thing to do and it makes you feel good. You're helping because you're like, I don't want to go to hell because you believe in all the afterlife and stuff.
Yeah,
so I was
I actually do believe like, and I've been brainwashed to believe in it. Like there's been many times in my life where I was like, fuck, I'm not going to believe in this shit anymore. I want to just be an individual, like be on my own. And then it always creeps up, and I think it's because I'm a coward.
No, it's gonna creep up to everybody. It's a human condition.
Like, especially when the plane shakes, that's when people stop being atheist. I forgot how that meme is, but yeah, there's truth to that.
Like, I've never thought about resetting. Me, it's always been recalibration. You know what I mean? I've never really thought of resetting my life or changing. It's been more of like, okay, I need to recalibrate at times. You know what I mean? Whenever I feel like I'm gonna burn out, like I felt like that. I remember 2 years ago.
I know you're onto something, because whenever Poseidon's making a good point, his eyebrow keeps winking every 5 seconds.
Oh, he has a tick. Yeah, it twitches. Yeah.
Fuck. The real question is, how do I notice that shit?
Oh, everyone notices. Yeah, it's a huge tell in poker.
I wanted to bring something random up though. Did you follow the other candidates that Trump was running against? Like, oh no, sorry, the independent candidates that ran.
All I knew was the libertarian one, Joe Jorgensen, and obviously Kanye.
Kanye, fuck. Got a lot of votes, actually, surprisingly.
Yeah, like 40,000. What do you get?
The point is, way too many. There's no reason for that. It's just people saying fuck you to the system, I think.
Well, that's why Trump was elected the first time, right? It was just a fuck you to the system. And then now you're like, well, fuck, what do I do now?
Anyways, there was one guy, Pierce Brockman or something. Brock Pierce.
Okay.
Brock Pierce, yeah.
What a name.
Well, he was the main actor, or one of the main roles in Mighty Ducks back in the day. And then he became a Bitcoin billionaire.
What?
Yeah, he became a billionaire through Bitcoin. Here's the funny part to me: like he looks like a female to male trans person. Like he looks very feminine, but has like some scanty facial hair and long hair. And he's smaller than me. I think he's a smaller man than me.
What's his name?
Brock Pierce.
Let me take a look at this.
Yeah, check this guy out. Anyways, like I just thought it was funny because like, okay, so I was super fucking high. Like,
oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, he does look. Yeah.
So like 4 a.m, I'm high as fuck, like, and I just go on YouTube and I find this guy and I'm like, did this guy really think he was gonna amass the nation behind? Look at this guy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he is somewhere in between. Yeah, you're right.
He looks like a gender. Not that I have a problem with that, but it's
no,
like,
I didn't say you do. It just does seem that way. Yeah.
He's more progressive than the liberals, I guess, but.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much.
No, because he looks like a fucking kid, bro. And second, and fuck. Oh yeah, and then I commented on YouTube when I was like in a delusion. I was like, nobody wants the gay section of Pornhub.
That's funny.
I don't know why he reminded me of gay porn, but that's the first.
Yeah, I think I know why.
I like 30 likes.
Where was this?
Viral on YouTube.
This was on YouTube?
Yeah, just I have like fake accounts that I comment shit on YouTube.
Oh, you just an angry comment?
But dude, the funniest thing is like, you know what I noticed? Like I know how to pander to like alt-right people way more than the progressive left, the other extreme. It's just like I think it's easier to fool these people to like convince them like, oh well, he's only half Jewish. That's more in person, but even online, like, oh well, if he has this exact opinion, then he's all right.
Well, probably because the line is very, like, let's say if you go to the KKK, right?
Yeah.
You know where their line is. It's very simple. The line is visible. They don't like,
right. The instruction manual is 3 pages long.
Yeah. You understand exactly what they mean. But I guess if you go too far left, you could be like, I don't know, we're going to vote Democrat, right? And they're like, well, no, not if the Democrats don't wear yellow ties, because if they're wearing green ties, that means that they hate. And you're like, whoa, this is getting a little complicated. Or so we love all animals.
Too many rules.
Except giraffes. Giraffes are fucking tyrants, bro. What you gonna do with all that neck? Share it. So you don't know where you stand. So I guess, that is true. Yeah, with the right, you can, even if you go down the line, at least you know where they stand. Like
and me, I'm just going where I'm welcomed, Like I
don't feel like I'm welcome anywhere anymore.
Really?
Because I feel like I was always having fun in the middle, right?
Yeah.
But now the middle
is being ripped apart.
Is being ripped apart because I have people like
people just think you're a traitor now.
Exactly. So on the right they're like, well, why aren't you more on the right? And then on the left they're like, fuck you, Nazi. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like I'm in the middle because you're both doing retarded shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate. Like if you try to be the voice of reason, they just view it as a war. And it's like, it's like if there's 2 ships parting, you can't stand on the midpoint of the meeting point of the 2 ships and your legs are fucking
But the right is nicer to me because the right will be like, oh, you have a difference of opinion. You think what I'm saying is, okay, that's your right. Let's discuss it. Whereas the left is like, you have a difference of opinion? You fucking Nazi. What's with these opinions? So
it's going to backfire one day, man. I'm telling you. It's not even the pendulum. Like people talk, oh, don't worry. It's fine. Everything swings.
It's not a pendulum, no.
I think it's going to be consequential. Like I think it's like they're going to face a consequence where they're going to realize not only did this not resonate in the end with people in a healthy way, it also actually harmed us. I should say harmed us. I just fucking had a muscle spasm in my throat.
What?
I don't know. I was like,
I'm just busting your balls. You know what? Consequence is a big thing because I feel like Now it's going to have social consequences. So we were talking about Portland this morning with Poseidon.
Yeah.
Portland, which is
Are they still lit on fire? Fuck.
it's a well-known shithole. But Portland had that issue now where
No, one guy from Portland, I didn't like him.
that one guy, but they went into what is it, Biden's Democratic office over there, and they broke into it and said no more presidents, or like they don't know what they want.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you want?
You know what's fun, dude? You should go try this. I think it's too late now because the election's pretty much done. I think, but I don't know. Maybe who knows what the fuck will happen? But
If that does happen, if the turnaround happens and Trump is
God.
right
It's
and there was fraud
That'd be
and
crazy.
he wins, I said there's nothing I can ever do that would be funnier than that. That would be one of the funniest things to ever happen on planet Earth.
And then we find out he's Andy Kaufman.
He fucking falls out. Oh, that would be crazy. But it would be so nuts if he pulls that, because that's hilarious. That's the biggest fuck you. You're gonna have people crying in the streets.
That's why I liked it. That's why I like it, though. To be honest, I don't mind admitting that. Like, there's a lot of aspects to the Trump era and the Trump machine that I enjoyed. And that's it. You know, to me, if I look back and things didn't go the way I wanted to see the world unravel, it was kind of like a 4-year like little party, but not even because of all the criticism. But in the very beginning, like there was satisfaction because, like, you know, when you're dealing with a political spectrum of people that are very like, you know, make you walk on eggshells at all times, then there's a guy who just shits all over that.
Yeah, everybody loved that. I love that. Most comics love that shit.
Because here's like, even my mom who hates Trump's guts, like if she could wave a magic wand and have him explode, she would do it. But she still like laughs at shit he said, and like, you know, because she's from the generation where like if you make a retard joke, it's actually funny.
Yeah.
So she's conflicted between, you know, trying to be progressive but laughing at shit because her favorite movie is Nacho Libre. So like if Trump goes, I don't remember, with his hand, to her that's like genius, you know, that's like George Carlin.
Well, I think there's two aspects to it, because him as the rebel and of the I don't give a fuck, I think a lot of people love that. The problem is it's mixed in with what the media, basically anytime he would say something that was controversial against the media, they would spin it into an extreme statement. An extreme statement that didn't really reflect the context of what he was talking about, you know? Like if he'd say we got the lowest unemployment, they'd be like, this guy says that black people don't want to work or what. Like they would just take it out of the context. What the fuck? He never said that. He just said that the unemployment is as low as it's ever been. You know,
it
so
reminds me of Chelsea Handler's like 50 Cent comment.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
I had to remind him that he's black.
All I'm thinking is, okay, fuck her, because like I was never a fan. I don't like her. But Jimmy Fallon, okay, I get it. He's like a shill. He has to fake laugh constantly.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Is there something in his contract that he's like legally prevented from taking a stand on something?
Look, the late night crew doesn't exist anymore. Real late night doesn't exist anymore. Where it was rebellious, rock and roll, that doesn't exist. Rock and roll is on the internet now.
It's true.
Because this is what happens. Because
the internet's getting fucking pussified, though.
Well, slowly. But that's why I prefer, even the rappers, man, when they came out and said, look, this is why I'm voting for Trump, for example. Because, look, I don't want my taxes to be up, this and that. He hasn't bothered me, or whatever the fuck it was. They said the truth of how they felt. They get attacked. But why don't you counter if you're going to attack someone with the truth? Why don't you counter and be like, look, no, because of X, Y, Z reason, this is why we don't need him.
Because people on any side you're on, if you're one of those people who thinks this is like a, you know, a game, this isn't football, you know? But I think a lot of people treat this as like, oh, everything will be fine. Everything goes back to equilibrium no matter what we do. Like people seem to think that like, you know, no matter what happens in like U.S. politics, like things will always balance out. But like there is a possibility of shit.
No, there's consequences,
There is
man.
consequences, you know? But anyways, fine.
I think you're right about
I voted for Brock Pierce.
I think you're right about the consequence thing, though. I think a lot of people are going to suffer consequences of just doing crazy shit. Like AOC, her, man, she's said and done some crazy fucking shit. And then for some reason,
The list thing was
the
unsettling.
list thing was very. When I saw that, I was like, what?
Reminded me of comedians that do that, because I first saw that trend in the comedy scene of all fucking places.
Yeah.
Where like in New York there was this guy who was making lists of comics.
I remember, that
then
are too racist or.
Yeah, and then comics that I look up to that I like, which incidentally they all happen to have like some sort of a problem in their lives. I guess I've noticed that pattern. So I think I forget if it was like Kurt Metzger, but he was like, fuck, it's like I wasn't even on the list.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't left that much of an impact. Or like the way I don't know he talks about.
Yeah, Metzger. I don't know.
He's pissed that he didn't leave enough of an impact to be on the rape list or something. I forget.
Yeah, because the guy that made the list.
Or was it Aaron Berg? I forget which.
Aaron Berg was on there, but he said of racist comedians, and then he had basically it turned out that it was just people that had wronged him, because he kind of mixed up and put some people on there that were. Like he put black people on and said that, you know, these are the people that don't like black people, but he got mixed up and also put, you know, names they shouldn't have put. Yeah,
dummy.
he basically ended up putting all the names of people he didn't like, and there was no proof or substance to anything he said. It's
ridiculous,
right? It was just people that he didn't like or didn't like him, and you get that a lot, and that's what she did to AOC when she's like, we should make a list of people that disagreed with us and whatever. It's like, what? Whoa! Whoever said nice things about Trump, and we make a list, and they're gonna pay for it later. It's like, what are you talking about?
No one's gonna work with her now in the future. Like, let's say she doesn't like. Let's say her political ends are not met, and then she like let's say gets ostracized from the Democratic Party, or they find out that she's too crazy, like all she's doing is gambling 100%. She's like betting on green on roulette. That like if everything falls into place, then if the whole world in her world is perfect, she'll have her list of people to eliminate. She'll have people sent to education camps. But if like all of her fucking glamorized outcome one day gets actualized, like if it doesn't happen, all you're doing is basically convincing people that you're a nut job. And that, okay, like we keep her around to appease her voters to get the votes, but we don't actually do what she wants is probably what's going to be done.
I personally, I don't, even here I have comics that, let's say politically we haven't gotten along or whatever, but I don't want anything bad to happen. Like we could still talk. And we, God, I've gone into arguments, like we disagree.
Some people are fucking losers. Like some people will, like I've reached out to me on Instagram, like messaging me like personally, like people who I've known for years that have never really talked to me one-on-one much. And like after all the fucking years of me making them laugh, because I have, like I just fucking, when I meet people on the street, it's just a natural inclination that I'm trying to make people laugh, right? Yeah. So I'm making these comics and these people laugh after all these years of being like, a good input into their life, whether they realize it or not, unless I'm a total narcissist egomaniac and I don't realize, but
Perhaps a little of that.
Yeah, but the point is like, and then to reach out to me and be like, hey man, well, I don't know why you feel about this, or I don't really get why you're doing this. And it's like, dude, like, it's kind of offensive to me that like, you're only highlighting something that I've arguably done wrong, but you've ignored all the good that I've done in my life, and now's the time when you've decided to, get on a level head with me and talk about something.
Yeah.
It's like, why did you wait for something shitty to reach out to me?
Yeah, to just have something to say. I don't know, but I've gotten into arguments. I've talked to people, but I like to think I still keep it civil, and I don't mind if you have a varying. I mean, you should have a different opinion than me. Everybody should not have the same opinion, and I'm cool with that. We could discuss, we could talk, but then I noticed that there's people. But it's the least successful people to do it. The people who have no success.
I was more celebrated in life when I was actually a piece of shit when I was younger, because like I guess there was no morality when we were kids. But like I used to do like crazy shit, and like I was like considered crazy but funny, but like maybe don't invite him to the party this weekend because he's too crazy, kind of shit.
Yeah, well, but I'm just telling you, I think if you don't have stuff going well in your life, you're gonna look to fight, because I noticed that here, like the comics that really hold grudges and they don't want to talk and they're mad. It's because they're not doing anything. But the ones that are doing something, you can talk to, have a difference of opinion.
And they're too busy for this shit.
They're too busy. You have a difference of opinion and move forward. You having a different opinion is not gonna put you on their list. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the ones that are doing dick, dude, all they want to do is argue with you, fight you, tell people how evil you are, all that shit. Yeah. So in other words, keep busy.
Crazy for blocking people that make those lists though. Like there was a guy who was bragging about a list he was making in Toronto. Okay. And I was like, fuck, maybe I should just block this guy and, get off a psycho's radar. But meanwhile, I didn't realize that I'm saying get off a psycho's radar, and I was just stalking his Facebook for an hour.
Just as he was on the list?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm getting off a psycho's radar after like knowing his whole life story.
Yeah, I don't care. Like it never bothered me. Yeah. It never bothered me here. Like, you can't play in this room, or this is a like, yeah, these are not real rooms. You made this up. It's not a real place. These satellite rooms, I don't care.
Do you ever wonder though if our we all seem to be obsessed with like details in life, all this like observational humor and shit.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever wondered like, okay, we're not like Seinfeld where it's like okay, like my brain produces one-liners and shit or whatever the fuck. But like, I definitely wonder, like, what if there's a level of Asperger's that's like making me notice, like, no apology, and then I have to screenshot it and underline it and talk about it on Instagram. It's like no normal person is doing that.
No, well, we're not normal. We're fucking weirdos. That's why we do what we do. You have to have I mean, everyone is weird, okay? But we have a different level of weird, and the stuff we notice and the stuff that makes us angry, the stuff that makes us tick, and that we could expand on and talk about is different than other people. That's why people will watch us, right? That's why we dissect things and talk about them, make something that's not funny. It's more than just a skill. It's also just a chemical imbalance or just the way our brains are wired. Well, like I've always, even before stand-up, I always had the instinct, like go to the joke no matter what the situation. I wasn't doing it because like, all right, this is going to be good. It would come out before I had time to think about it, even if it would make everything awkward.
Okay, yeah.
My brain would always...
That's like a Tourette's way of thinking, but that's funny shit. Like, that's what funny people do, I've noticed. Like, the truly funny people that I've met in my life, I've never... There's always a lack of a filter on some level, you know? It's like, if ever there's too much filter, it's like you're slowing down the joke and shit, you know?
Then you're trying to sanitize it, and it's not the same joke. It's that lack of a filter, and so it is a mental problem.
First laugh I ever got in life that I could remember, and this is kind of fucked up that I can remember this far back, but I was in preschool, and the lights went out, and it was like overnight. We were sleeping overnight, and the power went out or something.
At school?
Yeah, at pre-K.
They'll make you sleep overnight. And
I think we had a sleepover, yeah. And I remember vividly, like, I wanted to sleep beside this girl I had no clue what the fuck I was gonna do because I was like a child.
You had a crush on a little girl.
On a
I didn't even know kids have crush at that age.
I had a crush, but for a loving reason. Like,
Okay,
I wanna
not
marry,
obviously not.
Like I want to marry, Jennifer or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Not Jennifer. It was Ariel actually. I'm kidding. I don't remember her name. I'm just joking. It was many years ago. But yeah. So I was.
Was it Helwani?
The first laugh I got, I think when the power went out, I shouted, "Oh my god, it's a tomato!" But I meant to say tornado. Because there was like rain and shit, and everybody laughed, but I was like serious, like it's a tomato, and then the teacher was even like, "This guy's a fucking retard."
That's funny. It's a tomato, like he's just stupid.
So that's the essence of my stand-up. I think it's just like confident. It's a confident self-foiling of life. It's like trying to add to things, and you're only fucking things up.
Oh, that's constant, and we accidentally fuck shit up all the time.
Well, the intellectuals are cracking the codes of the universe.
I mean, the intellectuals, that's basically what it is. It's
figuring out OnlyFans passwords.
Oh my god, next episode is going to be just them trying to crack open
Dude, a girl from my high school is an
site.
OnlyFans now. A girl that I knew growing up is now like, has like 56,000 followers on Instagram, and she's making money. Like,
yeah, I know. We know a lot of OnlyFans
from high school.
I don't know a lot from high school. I know one girl that I suspect has OnlyFans, but I never looked into it. But we have a lot of like fans that we've met who start OnlyFans and all that. It's funny because like a year ago I didn't know anything about the business, and now I could be an OnlyFans pimp. Like I know all about it.
Yeah. But I find that's the equivalent of drug dealers for guys. The OnlyFans for women, like that's the equivalent.
It's the same thing because not at all.
Easy
I'm
money.
I'm confused right now.
No, easy money, fast money. You know what I mean?
I don't know how fast it is anymore, but
some broads make bank.
Yeah, but you got to wait a month, I think, for the payouts.
Still, imagine just waiting a month and bam, 50 G's.
Yeah, but I don't know how easy it is. I mean, I don't know about because you know what I'm thinking, like the girl at high school, right?
Yeah.
So that means that in the future, she's gonna have kids.
Yeah.
At school, other kids are gonna be like, "Yo, like I've been looking at your mom's bleached asshole." Like, I think that's what, like, I think there's going to be weirdness down the line.
Oh, for sure. Today's theme, bleached assholes.
Yeah.
I don't fucking, I mean, how, are there assholes that are like so dark that they need to like lighten them up that the person who's already in there gives a shit at that point? Like, if you're already going to eat a random chick's ass, like, do you care if it's slightly tanned?
I have no idea where it started, the bleaching of the anus, but it's a real thing. We talked about it this morning. It's like a huge business.
Because I've had people give me like a pep talk like back in the day where like, oh, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, if she's going to blow you, it doesn't matter if you have a fucking like, dry skin on your dick from jerking off too much. Once she's there, once someone's about to suck your dick, it doesn't matter.
I think that probably matters. If your dick's disgusting, that probably matters.
No, not disgusting, but like some dryness, And once you have it in the bag, like you're in the bag,
Once you have it in the bag. Once you have successfully tricked the lady.
No, I mean, I got to take a shower
or once a
before
man's about to eat your asshole, like,
He's already committed. He's in too deep.
Exactly. I think it's more for like I think it's insecurity. Not a psychologist or anything, but
probably.
No, I mean every time before I fuck, I have to take a shower and the chick has to take a shower.
Makes sense. Cleanliness,
Yeah, that's my only thing.
This brings me back to like the nasty state of living that I used to live in. Like when I used to go to sleepaway camp when I was in like high school.
Okay.
It's like every Jew growing up. I don't know if you guys ever go to sleepaway camp.
I went once, but I'm not Jewish.
Okay, so when you went, was it one of those, you had to sleep in like a log cabin or like a tent or something?
Yeah, no, log cabin, yeah. And it was 12 days, I think.
Yeah, when I look back, like motherfuckers weren't showering for like 2 months and they were still like hooking up and shit.
No, when I was younger, I was like 10, around 10, maybe 12, 10, 12. When I went, and we were showering every day though.
That's like pretty young. No, I was in like grade 9, 10, 11. So like, people were like smoking weed and shit.
Oh no, I didn't have. Well, they must have been the older kids, but I mean, when I was, I didn't do that.
Oh, dude, actually, this fucking yeah. So that's what I just wanted to think about. I had a counselor I remember who like she was like known to be such a whore, but she would always give us like moral advice.
That's
so
funny.
like I had a friend who like one night he was caught outside of his tent after his like bedtime, I guess is what it's called, or his curfew, and she was like, Sean, where are you going? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna go milk the snake. And she's like, Sean, can you please never say that again? But then you see like dried up jizz on her chin and like her hair's all messed up. Like she was just getting banged in a fucking cabin somewhere.
Oh, really?
Please, Sean, that's disgusting, okay? Like,
I'll go suck that dude's dick. I'll be right back.
What camp is this? What's it called?
Fuck, should I say?
Well, now
she's very prevalent. It's very prevalent in the Jewish community.
Okay.
Well, he's not. How is he gonna know? He's not a Jew.
I was just busting
What's it
balls.
called?
There was a joke
listen, I know a lot of Jews watch this podcast.
Yeah, it's number one in the Jewish community.
Sadly, just not in Hollywood.
Yeah. There you go. What's it called? It's called Shlomo's Sleepaway Camp. Shlomo's Sleepaway Camp.
Add Beryl Solomon on LinkedIn.
It's yeah, I don't know. What's it called? Or you don't want to say it? Well, she's not there anymore. This was years ago. She's got a real
Yeah,
job.
the camp was YCC.
Oh, that doesn't tell me anything.
That doesn't tell me anything either.
And if they sue me, it was the word Y and then CC.
Wait, Yiddish is the Y for Yiddish?
I have no idea. All I know is like apparently
YCC.
the Bronfmans sponsored it, and I didn't know this about the Bronfmans, but that they used to be involved in like the illegal liquor trade.
Yeah, a lot of people were part of the
What the fuck
the
are we
bootleg
doing?
bourbon.
We should be the future crack trade or something. What's the next thing?
Well, it was weed for a while.
Well, now
And then they
meth will
legalized
be
that.
legal very soon in a few weeks because of Biden.
Yeah. Oh well, it's gonna be legal. Well, in the states, there's certain states now that it's no longer illegal.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That is retarded.
Yeah, they announced it a few days ago.
People think that like if you make a drug legal, obviously if it's like at a store you can just go and get it. It's easier to get. It's it's safer. It's government regulated. Like I think more people would buy it. No.
It depends because I know in Portugal, the trick is to decriminalize.
I think that's what they did in.
I'm talking like
Oregon.
SQDC style, like when the government will literally sell it. A package.
Yeah, but they can't sell. For example, cigarettes is because they were around for a while and shit, and that's why they get away with it. Weed is because it's a plant. Yeah, it's a legacy thing. But they can't start selling meth and shit like that.
Which
That's
is
crazy.
bullshit. Any legacy argument is fucking bullshit. What is a legacy? It's been around for a long ass time. So priests who can't have kids, like, well, it's a long-standing thing that has resulted in pedophiles infiltrating us. Just shut it off.
Yeah.
Because if you're a priest who's not a pedophile and you're like, hey, John, where were you this past weekend? We were having a conference, or and then you find out that all the other priests are pedophiles. When you find out that you're not a pedophile, and there's so many pedophiles,
What do you do?
you must feel a little left out.
Well, what do you do? Because there's how do they talk about it?
How do you deal with
You're
that?
just a negative Nancy among them,
Yeah.
judging them. I don't know how many priests are pedophiles, by the way.
No, it's not like. But I know that there's a lot of people went into priesthood because they were homosexuals and they didn't know how society would handle it. They go, I'll just go there. I'll be abstinent.
Sense,
Yeah.
Or work
Oh
at
shit!
Selma.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that was happening. It's not related to the pedophile thing.
Yeah.
They're two different cases. One is pedophiles go there. The other one was gay men would go there. So yeah, I watched documentaries about that guy in Boston too who raped. I forgot how many boys. They did a whole lawsuit against him years later. Even like people in the city were covering up because it was such a big deal. You know what I mean?
God damn.
Yeah. There's a lot.
I
of
wonder how the
cover-ups.
conversation broke out among those boys. Like, so, like, how did they start sharing the story and connecting it?
A lot of the thing was that people wouldn't talk about it. Just kids would be different. They kind of knew.
Because
When
guys
he
are different than girls.
when he
right?
calls you into that room, or what's gonna happen, some shit like that. I don't remember. But basically,
fucking scary.
long story short, fucked up lives of all kinds of kids and families after. Because then the family gets fucked up. Because some kids would then tell their parents, and the parents were like, so. Like, that never happened. Don't lie about the priest, shit like that. Imagine you get raped and then they blame you, your parents.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's fucked up. You ruin lives. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And the
completely
church
nuts.
is, it's just things, legacies, Like I just think certain things can be tweaked and changed, and then things will get better. But
Well, for Greek priests, I mean, their biggest thing is that they get caught boozing. They get caught like in mobster relationship because they're allowed to get married.
Yeah.
So their big thing is it's not sex. It's they're always tied into crime. Yeah.
oh man,
But it happens to a lot of Hasids too, rabbis and stuff like that here that they bring shit up from New York and stuff. This guy got to witness firsthand a lot of
Yes, a lot of Jewish crime syndicates.
yeah.
Forming.
Yeah. You got to witness a lot
there
of
is
that
a Jewish
stuff.
mafia though. Apparently,
There's a
Of course
mafia.
there is.
There's a mafia of everything. Whoever tells you there isn't is a fucking idiot.
I know Jewish rappers. It's the funniest thing.
What?
Yeah,
Excuse me?
Yeah, I know.
This is the first.
I just okay.
What do they rap about?
Well, basically, like one of them raps about. I know two guys from high school. One of them is still a rapper and has not blown up or anything.
But wait, are they Hasidic Jewish
No,
rappers?
no, just like regular guys.
Oh, it would have been funny if
Their
they're Hasidic
personality,
Jewish
but
rappers.
the neuroticness still bleeds into it.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
like excuse me, I'm fucking falling apart. One time, this guy, one of them dissed the other one on Facebook.
Okay.
And the one on the receiving end, instead of like sending a video back where he's like, yo, fuck you, I'll just give him a fake name. Yo, fuck you, maniac.
Yeah.
Every time you rap, I want a yak or like some
Yeah,
shit.
something silly,
Instead
yeah,
of
yeah.
something that rhymes, which I fucking just produced something that actually was kind of not that bad, by the way. But anyways, instead of responding with a fucking, with a bar, he was like, hi guys, I just want to make it very clear. I do not know Maniac. I've never met him before. We do not associate with one another. If you hear any rumors about me, they're not true. Like it was just
Oh
like
my God.
it was like a very real like PR stunt,
Oh my
Like,
God.
So like it was just so fucking lame.
What a goofy. And then how do you take
Jews
them
are funny.
seriously?
Jews are all just funnier. Whatever they do in life, they're funnier than what they're doing. It's just they've settled on doing something else, I think.
That's fucking ridiculous. I've never met Maniac. He's not, he doesn't speak
I
on
did
the
shrooms once, and I did a rap battle versus him, and I apparently won.
The rapper.
And I saw like Paisley's moving on the wall, and a week later, I'm like, wait, Brandon doesn't have a Paisley design on his wall.
Oh, but you were fucked. You're
Yeah,
on
I was
shrooms.
fucked, exactly. But I apparently pulled a Will Ferrell, basically, and fucking killed it.
I don't know how we came to this. Oh, yeah, Jewish crime syndicates.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy shit, bro. Jewish crime syndicate, whatever you want. It's out there. It's, no one is safe from crime syndicates.
Yeah.
Should have voted for Joe Jorgensen. 1% of the vote.
She was dumb, though.
I don't get what these people are trying to do. It's like I think just join the coalition of the group that's going to win, that serves your interests, versus causing fragmentation, unless you have such a different agenda, you know. But if you're a libertarian, like there's obviously left-wing libertarians and right-wing libertarians. But,
Yeah.
you know, but I would.
Well,
just
I mean,
assume,
you know, the problem is with libertarians is because I lean more with the libertarians is, well, what do you want? One says they're progressive, but they're for war, right?
Interesting,
The other
yeah.
one, yeah, which is fucking. So how do you want me to fucking help you? How do you want me to vote for you when you're for war? Then the other guys, let's say it's like more individual, smaller government, right?
who's for war anyways? It's so fucked up.
Yeah, well, they are.
Wakes up in the morning and says,
People who
war,
aren't
war,
affected
war.
by war.
Yeah, people who aren't affected by the war directly are the ones that
Yeah.
are for war.
Exactly.
It's arrogant pricks.
Yeah, like right now, no one's helping out Armenia.
Or what if Armenia? You mean?
Yeah.
I heard Romania.
Oh, Armenia, I said, yeah.
Armenia.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Like, look at Erdogan. It's always leaders like that that are for war. He's
Yeah.
never going to be
That
affected.
reminds me of a funny joke I heard in Montreal like years ago, where this guy was like, you know, something about how unlike the Jewish Holocaust, the Armenian Holocaust didn't actually happen or something.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like the punchline is that the Armenian Holocaust didn't happen.
Oh, yeah, that was, fuck, who was
think
that?
it
Was
was-
that Metzger?
No,
Someone had said,
he had like big. Okay, it was David Hetty.
oh, fuck,
David
yeah,
Hetty.
yeah. That's a heady joke.
Tried not saying his name.
No, but
I'm kidding.
is that, because I remember Metzger said something a few months ago, and the Armenian League got mad at him on Twitter.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. But no, Hetty's got, what you tried not to say, actually, I'm going to invite Hetty soon. Hetty's a funny motherfucker.
I'm always anticipant or what's you call it, indecisive about saying someone's name for some reason if I don't know them that well.
Oh, you don't know him?
I know him, but like not on a level that you know. I've already invested too much time into discussing him. At this
Okay,
point.
yeah, no, he's a good dude. He's a good dude,
Yeah,
and he's
no, I
fucking
agree.
funny.
I agree.
Brilliant.
I just give people their space. That's it.
Yeah, no, brilliant writer.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows jokes.
You know who doesn't know jokes? Fucking. Speaking of arrogant pricks earlier, I think about, you know, like for example, like I'm doing interviews now
Yeah.
with like hiring managers, and some of these people will look on my CV.
Trying to get a job?
I'm trying to get a job. Well, I'm living with my folks. You know, I'm studying supply chain at McGill by night, and I'm just trying to get a job in the field that I'm studying,
Okay.
which I've already done before, but now I'm trying to get like qualified and shit. So I'm talking to these interviewers on the phone, and some of these people, I forgot on one of my CVs that I sent the wrong one by accident, and it said that I was in the McGill Students Comedy Club at a certain point in time.
Oh, you shouldn't have mentioned that.
And right away, they're like putting me on the spot to be funny and shit. And then, like, you know, I didn't know he was trying to make me be funny. So at a certain point, I think he asked me, how's COVID treating me? And I was like, well, actually, my grandmother just passed away. So it's really sad. And he goes, ha ha ha, I love the awkward humor.
What a fucking loser.
Yeah. And there was a conference call with this other woman on the phone who was like, okay. Like, totally at odds with what he was doing.
That's funny.
Love the awkward humor.
That's fucking. You ever get tired when you talk to, do corporate people ever drain you? Me, they drain me now.
There's just not enough human empathy.
Yeah, it just.
They just lack too much human empathy, man. It's just
There's
funny.
something draining
I love them,
about
though. I like, this is my evil side, but I love that humor so dearly because it's so fucking funny because they don't even fucking realize what this shit they're doing half the time.
Yeah, how funny it is.
But
and how
listen,
awkward.
you know, if you're a guy like me, you gotta just surround yourself with fucked up people and let the joke write itself half the time, you know?
I don't know. I'm getting real tired of spreadsheet people.
What's that?
Just-
business people, yeah.
Yeah, just they're all like, they say stuff, but they don't really say anything. You ever notice that? Like, we're gonna take this offline, and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about this later. Maybe we should 86 that. And
I
it's
hate
just-
that shit.
What?
Or you ever I'm so out of it right now. I'm mumbling.
Are you high?
Like, no, maybe. Depends. The edibles now, they last until the next morning. But this reminds me of a situation where my friend got beat up at camp, and
I'm sorry about that.
and well, anyways, he's a fucking weirdo. But he was like hitting on a guy's girlfriend, and she's taken, so she's with a guy. So he's hitting on this girl, and then the guy punched him in the face. And then I go back to my friend's house, like after camp is over and we're hanging out. And then his father walked over. This guy's like a business magnate, like achieved so much financially that I'll never reach in life probably.
Okay.
You would think that they would have like different values on certain things, but he walks over, he's like, "Hey, did you hear Finch got clobbered?" Ha ha ha. And then I hear
his own son?
No, our friend who got punched in the face.
Yeah.
Did you hear Finch got clobbered? Like when you use the word clobbered,
it makes it funny.
It's a funny way to describe a guy getting beat up,
It's funny that an older guy said that.
And of course, my buddy, who I think might be autistic or something, his laugh is so weird. He's just like, "Bah!" It's like an autistic laugh.
Fucking Samson, you're a caricature. I wouldn't be able to write you.
You wouldn't? I don't know. I have different like settings though, Right now I'm feeling a little depersonalized, but I'm comfortable with you guys. But
because we know each other.
Yeah, but if I was getting like interrogated by like a random show, I'd probably shit myself.
Oh really? For what? Like, what could they interrogate you?
Nothing.
Because you always panic over nonsense. Like you messaged me last time.
It's the intentions that affect me. When someone's coming at me with bad intentions,
because you don't like the feeling.
Yeah, I fucking don't like that feeling, and it's made me worry. Like you have to be strong in life, and you have to basically, stand tall and face this kind of energy. But sometimes it gets to me. But all I do is I reach out to a friend, I'll talk to somebody.
I've learned to just cut people off or just cut shit short. Like fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not here for forever. So the time that I am here, I want to be happy.
Oh, dude.
So I don't need this shit.
Like cleaning house and all that, like cutting people out of your life that were just bringing you down and shit.
Yeah, I've done that.
It's so necessary, but it's so hard to figure out who to do it to. Because then you ever meet like a psycho who's like, "Oh, Pantelis, yeah," or sorry, "Oh, Poseidon, so many things have changed. I've been cleaning house," and you're wondering like, why has so and so lost touch with all of our friends? Like he might be the common denominator, not all of our friends that are not his friend anymore. And then that guy wants you to not be friends with like 12 other people at the same time. And you're
no one's gonna dictate to me what I do, but personally, I have zero problem cutting anyone out of my life. Zero problem.
Yeah, you have to, man.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking, because some people think you owe them your friendship.
No.
And it's like, what I say to these people? It's like, dude, like not only do I not owe you my friendship, but you didn't earn it. Yeah. Because the fact is, we all have like scarce time on Earth. Like we have to earn each other's respect and earn each other's, time, right? And then I hate people that you'll take a stand against them in a very civilized way, and then they'll play the victim for all of eternity.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even give a shit anymore, though. That's the point that I know I grew as a person, where I stopped giving a shit about someone else's narrative that does not match up with the reality that I know best.
Well, yeah, that's why I've always been saying, look, man, it's this is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing, X thing. You might not fit into that picture, or we don't get along. We don't agree with X thing. I'm not going to fight you on it. Just, I don't need this. Why would I engage?
Unless the person starts like spreading shit about you after, because then they're a total piece of shit.
I used to care, and now I don't, because like I used to. I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? That's not true. And then now I'm like, well,
don't even fan the flame, I guess.
Not even that. It's just a lot of the when I hear shit talked about me, it doesn't even make sense. Like it can't even be real if you think about it, So I'm like, well, if you're dumb enough to believe that, then why would I even want to argue with you that you're gonna try to convince me the Earth is flat?
It's just just a cancerous force.
Yeah. So now I just I let things go. People do their thing.
I have a guy now spreading shit about me to random people on Facebook. Because I just don't want to be his friend. Literally, that's it. I just don't want to be his
like children.
Friend. Yeah, literally. No, the most childish shit ever. But like the weird part is he's not spreading rumors about me because he doesn't know anything about me. And frankly, there's not much about me that you could really get me on at this point in my life. So like he's like spreading lies like, how I'm dangerous, or like, and random rumors to make me seem like, I'm a threat to safety, and I'm potentially going to be a school shooter or something.
Oh, really?
He was spreading lies about
You're like, I would have to go to school first.
So it's like I'm almost 30 years old, so I'm 26, I'm turning 27 in December. I'm not a fucking school shooter. I don't own a gun. It's like, why don't you start telling people that my left foot is bigger than my right at this point? It's like, you're just spreading random. And it's funny because the people that he's talking to have all reached out to me personally and been like, yo, like this guy's fucking crazy. And I'm like, okay, thank God this guy is like neurotically sending giant paragraphs, because they already know.
So wait, what is he sending paragraphs for? Like, why is he mad at you? You wouldn't date him? What the fuck's going on?
Well, I think the backstory is that this individual like did a bunch of acid, and like, somebody's fucked up when they're spending half their day holding an ice pack on their head because they're hot.
Okay.
Like the guy's just fucked up. It was just a friend of a friend that I met very, very like short periods of spurts, and I didn't expect in a million years that someone that I knew for this amount of time would like latch onto me in their mind and obsess over me. Now I feel like I feel like Mean Girls. Like you're just obsessed with me. But it's true. Some people are just, You know,
That's some creepy shit, huh?
Yeah,
People
that
doing
is very
yeah.
creepy. I don't understand the logic behind that.
there is no logic. Fuck, you know. If this was before surveillance cameras, I probably no. I'm kidding.
We'd ice him.
There is some truth to that though. I would never do that because it's not about me. But back in the day, there must have been a time in Montreal where you can like shoot a guy in a back alley and then bounce, and then you fucking never see him again. You never see him again.
The good old days.
Yeah. That time still exists.
Wild West, you pick up a broad, you travel to another village, you start a family, you build a house. What the fuck are we doing, bro?
Yeah, we are a little bit too connected now. Like you can't really escape. Like even if you
Tell
if you go
Kumi
to
I
another
said that.
even if you go to another country, you're still kind of connected. They know who you are. There's a backstory on you.
I don't think it's so much as escaping. It's just
You don't
sometimes.
want to land up on a wanted list, that's for sure.
No.
That was the big thing back then. Like you could do whatever you want, but we'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, the second you get like GTA 5-starred,
Yeah.
then you're fucked.
I was fucking playing GTA last night, dude. And I didn't realize how fucking immature I am. I kept running into I tried playing this game where I don't kill anyone. I just keep running into people and they fall over.
Okay.
And if they don't fight back, I think they just die. Like if you push someone twice, they just die. And
Your
then-
car?
No, like with your body. If you walk into someone, they fall over and then they die eventually. And then
GTA?
in GTA, if you keep running into a woman, now I sound like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's a video game.
Take that out of context.
And then I didn't know you have a taser in GTA 5, and I was just like tasering a dead body like in her pussy. Like I was just shooting her fucking pussy with a taser. And I was thinking, like,
I hope somebody takes that clip out of context and
dude,
they sent it to you to the guy that you're
I was laughing
interviewing.
my ass off for some reason. I don't know why. It was just funny. Like, you know
You
what?
really want to hire this guy?
no,
This is
no.
what he does to women.
It's good though, because my friend who was watching me was like, didn't get it at all. There's nothing to get, but like he didn't like it. So I liked knowing that I was pissing off my friend. You know, I'm already playing longer than I was supposed to. I already died, and I should have given him the controller. And I'm spending my time tasering a body. I don't know why that made me laugh.
Weird shit makes us laugh, especially in games. Like what you find funny.
It's just so stupid.
I can laugh like that if I was like, I guess, with a group of friends and you're fucking around in a game. You could laugh.
You want to see it? It's on my story right now.
I saw your story.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly. I saw you laughing. I didn't know that that's what you were doing, but I saw you laughing at GTA.
Well, we laugh like that all the time over like I play Call of Duty with two friends. Just the dumbest shit happened. So like one time, my friend threw a trophy system. You know, you play Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, yes. Yeah.
Warzone, the latest one. He threw
I
a
didn't play the
trophy
latest
system to prevent missiles from hitting
I have no clue what you're
the
talking
helicopter, and it basically went through the helicopter. And he was angry, and like I just started laughing at that. It's just dumb
fun.
stupidity. Yeah.
No, it's just mischief. That's all
It's
it is.
just mischief.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had a dream once when I was a kid that like I could do whatever. Ever have a lucid dream?
Only once in my life where I
what-
knew I was dreaming.
Were you fucking around
Only
like
once.
crazy in that dream?
I flew. I got to fly.
Flew. Okay,
Yeah.
see that's a normal thing to do. I was at a shopping center. I'll never forget this dream where I was following this old lady and I kept like pushing her into like clothes, into like those like hangers of clothes. So like, but it was a dream. It was fucking fake. But that was a very liberating experience. And then I think I jumped off an escalator and like fell.
But that's such a Samson dream. What'd you do? I just kept pushing this old fucking lady.
I think the trauma is that when I was a young kid, I had like teachers that were picking on me and shit.
Really?
So that like just like unlucky, you know. Doesn't help that I'm shouting dictionary, you know.
So you were a shit kid, and then they would
Yeah.
be equally bad to you. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, no, I was a shit kid. I remember in math class, instead of paying attention, I convinced a guy in my class that I knew calculus. And I distracted him when I was drawing like triangles and smiley faces and squares that looked interesting. And he was like, "Whoa, shit, how do you know all this?"
Oh, and you were just fucking around.
That's funny.
He's like, "Shit, how do you know? Who taught you this?" And like,
Like, I stay after class.
dude, and then like years later, the guy slid it into a conversation. He's like, "Yo, remember when you taught me calculus?" He walks away and he remembered when I was a sick. There was almost something perverse about it. Like I was taking his attention away from the class to teach him nonsense.
Just to fuck with him.
What the fuck was that? Yeah.
So wait, what would they do? What would the teachers do? What was picking on you?
Well, like I had a teacher once who called me the lazy one, and I think the accurate description was the dumb one. You know, because I was trying, but I just wasn't picking it up at the time. It's so fucking weird, dude. I think I have a neurological issue where, like, at a certain point in time, my brain started working. But
Okay.
until, like, grade 3, I had no attention span at all. It was weird, dude. Like I couldn't learn how to read an analog clock for many years when I was a kid. And then
Maybe because you just weren't interested.
I don't know, man. One day, all of a sudden, it all started connecting. And I was like, okay, I guess the wires that were, not making contact suddenly got shifted.
Maybe because you applied yourself.
Exactly. Well, my friend was like, dude, you're not getting it? Have you even looked at the papers? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, have you taken the notes and put them in front of your face and looked at it. And I was like, well, no, I'm stressed out. And it's like, well, don't fucking complain then. You haven't even looked at the notes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think kids too. I mean, they got short attention spans. They're children. Yeah. Of course, they'd rather be playing than learning about math.
There's much worse than me. I'm not an ADD person. Like some people are like, oh, I have attention deficit. Like it comes and goes. It depends on interest, like you said.
Yeah.
But some people are just like, the point when it's a disability is when you can't even do the things you enjoy, I think.
You just have to find something that you like that you can monetize and do that for your whole life.
Right. So I'm thinking about that actually. What do I like?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I happen to be interested in, in terms of non-degenerate related things, that basically wipes off half the list. But yeah, like I was always a fan of like wine tasting activities and like wine tasting centers. But I was like, what if there was a wine tasting center in Montreal, but for like different assortments of hash? Like different
Wait, do you like wine or do you like hash?
Well, I like hash.
More than wine.
Not referring to the the midget. No, I like wine as well, but I just thought.
Oh, you don't get along with Hasher?
No, we do. Okay, I was just at his place last night. He always leaves me funny voicemails. Like we were running a show every Wednesday during lockdown.
Yeah.
And I forgot one week, and he was like, "Bro, we have a show tonight. You dumb fuck."
Yeah.
And it's like it's like the Wrigley Circus in reverse. Like instead of me being the normal human who abuses like the talent, it's like the fucking midget who's like dragging me by a leash.
And he's yelling at you.
To the show, exactly, yeah.
But you were saying, so you prefer hash to wine?
I definitely think drinking is more reserved. For me, it's more like at a wedding or a ceremonial. I don't really shoot for a drink.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So you wouldn't want to do that daily?
No, but I think that like a hash tasting place, like a hash facility where it's like a classy place. I always say this, steal my idea, then hire me, But yeah, and I think it'd be cool. Like people would go on dates. There's different. This one's from Lebanon. This one's red because we added food coloring to it. Well, moving on. Well.
Oh, you mean like kind of like the weed bars in Europe?
But a classier, because I've been to Europe. I've been to Amsterdam, and it's more like you go to this venue where they sell weed, and then you have to leave that venue and go to a weed area where you can lounge and smoke, but you can't smoke in the shop that you bought it in. So it's like you're moving around, and it's not as chill as what I would.
In Amsterdam, I didn't have the problem moving around. Like I remember going to like the Bulldog. So downstairs you'd smoke. Okay. And then you could go upstairs to the regular bar.
Okay, so you're right. There's places like that too where it's in the same place, but like some of the weed shops you could not smoke in the shop. I'm just saying, like I think it'd be cool if there was a center where like a guy who's well off with his girlfriend, his wife, they show up. Oh, let's try some really expensive, high quality hashes on like a testing pipe or something. I don't know.
So you would need is hash legal too, or is it just weed here?
In Quebec, it's different, but other provinces, I think it's more more flexible. But in Montreal, they just released a new one at the SQDC.
They have hash at the SQDC.
They do, yeah.
I thought hash. I don't know. I don't know a lot about drugs.
They just released a new one that's like stronger than the other one.
Okay, I thought hash was a no.
Isn't hash just very potent weed or something?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, there was a bit of a scam going on at one point where they lowered the THC because the legal law in Quebec is that it has to be, it can't be more than 30%.
Okay.
So they got a little too close on one of the batches, I suppose, or I don't know what happened exactly, but they lowered it drastically to like 17%. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is this even? Like, because if you're going to buy weed that's like 23%, let's say, if you're going to buy hash, you want something stronger, right? You don't want fucking, like, I can't sell you vodka and it's 14% alcohol. See what I'm saying? Yeah, it's supposed to be a condensed, saturated version of it, not a watered down weird brick of whatever the fuck leaf matter. Yeah. And it's like 17% THC. So that was a bit of a scam, but they've increased it since, and the other new one they released is like substantially stronger. So things are getting a bit better for those who are into that kind of thing, I guess, in Montreal.
But I don't know about the rest of Canada. I know that in Montreal, you can't open up a weed or even a hash bar. Remember when it first started, when they were talking about legalizing it, people got excited. They said, we'll buy our licenses. I'm going to start my own bar. And then they said, no, only the government is allowed to sell.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that either. I think they should. I mean, if they cared about the economy, they would leave it open to private business so they could make money.
And stuff.
Of course, but it's because it's not about the economy. It was about votes. That's why they did it. Right, and that's why they lost money. Like who else loses money selling drugs?
Politics, man.
Only the government.
Always gets in the way of everything. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck they lost money selling drugs. That to me is crazy. But yeah, they're not doing that right. People were telling me there's too much product, too much plastic.
It reminds me of Trump's casinos going bankrupt. It's like, how do you fuck something up that's like designed not to fuck up?
Yeah, if you fuck up a casino hotel type of thing, you probably didn't fuck up the casino portion. You probably fucked up the hotel portion, the staff. Because that's the other thing here with the SQDC. They say that they have, it's just a government job. So you're paying, the amount of people you're paying, all that stuff, it adds up, and it doesn't come out to a good profit.
But how come they didn't have the same issue with the sack?
What do you mean?
The sack, alcohol. How come they didn't run into this problem with the sack?
Well, the sack is, first of all, there's the sack is just like a regular store business, right? So you have more.
We
of
can get Guido Grasso on the line if we need to.
Yeah, you have
to the bottom of
more.
this.
You have more of the population that drinks than does drugs.
That's true.
So first of all, the market is, it's open. It's the whole thing. Everyone's drinking, right?
Yeah.
Different price points. There, you hire a couple of people. They manage it. It's like a store.
Yeah.
Whereas the SQDC, they don't manage it like that. The SQDC, they manage it like a government office.
You notice that the warnings on the labels are getting a little bit more. Here's a fucked up thing, man. Like, cause like all of our lives, what are people who support weed telling you? That there's no side effects that are negative. There's nothing negative that can possibly come out of weed.
There must be though, right?
Well, fucking there is, because on the labels, there's warnings on the government labels, which like I assume, base it off of some research.
Well, what's the warning?
Well, some of the warnings, for example, like if you consume THC every day, you are increased likely to become dependent.
Oh, for sure. That makes sense.
So like, but the point is, before the government warnings were out, or some of them say how like, marijuana contains some of the carcinogens found in tobacco. So people have always told me my whole life, well, tobacco causes cancer, weed can't cause cancer. It's never caused cancer. Or
it's fucking sugar causes
tobacco
cancer.
is addictive. Weed, you can't get addicted. It's only a psychological addiction, and it's very, very light. It's not true.
Can I just say about that whole psychological addiction? I've heard that before, and I never realized that kind of doesn't make sense, because then
An addiction is an addiction.
addiction, if you're because
why are you watering down a serious
sex
thing?
addiction is psychological, I guess, right? It's not a chemical that's
You're not
going
injecting yourself.
Yeah, with sex. Video game addiction is a real thing. Gambling.
Exactly.
Yeah. So are you saying that they're not real?
It's a way to propaganda.
No. By psychological, hold on. By physical addiction, it means that the consequences of withdrawal are going to be physically shown.
Here's the thing, though. There's such thing as psychosomatic symptoms.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're not smoking weed because you smoke every single day and then you stop for the next couple of days, at the very least, you're going to be very stressed out.
But everyone's different, because people could handle. Some people could quit. I know people who quit smoking after years of smoking like this, no problem. And then I know people. Well, one of our friends who's been.
I'm a fucking prime example. Can't quit smoking.
He can't quit anything.
Shit.
But
My dad's been chewing Nicorette for 20 years.
one of my
He can
buddies
hold on to a bar with his jaw off the back of a truck at this point.
One of my buddies who hated, when we were in high school, he hated drugs. He didn't want anything to do with it. And then I don't know what happened. He started smoking weed. He then turned into the biggest pothead I know. Loves to smoke, knows all about it, all that. But now he can't function without it. Like, he has his times. He's like, nope, now it's 2 p.m. I got to smoke this one. I have this one rule. And you can't get him off. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's going to have to leave.
It takes up time.
Yeah, and I go, you ever tried? He's like, I'm not going to fucking try. Are you crazy? I don't want to. Like, I have my times. I smoke all the time before I go to bed. And all day he's smoking.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's like if you're on medication, like people who take Xanax, like I heard a friend of mine told me.
But what I'm trying to say with that is, it's not the weed's fault. What I'm trying to say is that everyone has a different character. So people react, like there's people like me, I'm not a big drinker. It's rare that I drink. I could control my drinking. Yeah. It doesn't mean that he can. It doesn't mean that you can. Everyone's different. Some people, it's like, nope, the second I get a drop, I got to get hammered. Everyone's different. So it's not, I'm saying, don't blame, I'm not blaming the weed in this case, because I know a lot of people who smoke weed and function perfectly. They could just cut it tomorrow.
Look at Seth
and
Rogen.
Others who are super dependent.
Look at Seth Rogen, for example, right? So like people always talk about, Seth Rogen, like how is he so productive? How is he so successful? He smokes weed every day. So finally, what did I do one day? I go to the SQDC,
Give me the Seth Rogen weed.
I literally, but he has one, by the way.
Really?
It's called, I'm not making it up. It's called Houseplant.
Okay.
So Houseplant is like the brand of weed that he's associated with. I forget if he owns it because it's through the SQDC. So it's his company though that is sold at the SQDC. And so Houseplant is Seth Rogen's weed. I fucking buy it. I sample it. I'm like, all right, let's give me the Seth Rogen experience. Am I gonna start laughing like, ha, 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 ha? I don't know like what's gonna happen.
Yeah, the way he laughs.
So fucking, I smoked 1 joint, 2 joints. I'm not fucking high. And maybe it's because I smoked the hash and it increased my tolerance, perhaps, as possible. But I just didn't get high. And I'm thinking, you know why he's so productive? Because he's not high.
That's
funny. Because he smokes weak-ass weed. And
it might be.
He's not even high. Yeah, that's why.
I don't know. Again, because it depends on the person. Some people are more productive. Depends on what you're doing. Me, I'm more productive sober. I got to be sober and I got to work on 1,000,001 things at once.
Yeah, it's most people in life. Anyone who's more productive on a substance, like you're obviously a psycho on some level.
Well, I know a lot of comics and actors who it's coke that fueled them.
That is fucking expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. Shit, imagine me on coke. God damn, bro. Because I'm always working. So that means that I would always have to be on coke.
And then anything that's nice about your personality that's allowed you to network with people and
it would be gone.
It would be gone. And next thing you know, it'd be such a fucked up thing because like you'd be getting so much more shit done while also seeing people walk away from you.
Yeah, everybody hates me.
You're a fucking horse.
And just always coming up with crazy business ideas.
Literally, man.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, look, I know a guy who's like in his 40s who had a serious crack problem, actually, kind of like a la Rob Ford, and was always like a productive guy. No one knew.
Well, Rob Ford was productive. He was the mayor.
Yeah, it was cancer that knocked him out in the end, which we can attribute to maybe the crack smoking, but who knows? Some people say.
Wait, was he the mayor of Toronto? Or was he the premier of Ontario?
Mayor of Toronto, I believe.
Yeah, he was the goddamn mayor.
Yeah. Well, dude, fucking.
That's productive.
These people get out of this trouble very easily legally because if you have good lawyers, drug charges are often oddly drug-related things. Unless you killed someone or you were caught carrying large amounts, I'm pretty sure you can finagle your way into a rehab thing or something.
Yeah, I think that's in terms of like kind of redoing our whole crime system. I think
all the lawyer has to say is, "Sorry, Your Honor, what my client meant to say was he didn't sell crack."
No, I'm just saying selling crack is one thing, but I mean, crime should be. I don't think if you're not a danger. I don't like the idea of jail if you're not a danger to other people. I don't like the idea of putting someone in prison if he's not a danger to his neighbors. So let's say you funneled fucking cash. I don't know, you did tax fraud. Yeah. I don't think jail is for you because you're not a danger.
Up, bro.
You're not a danger to someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they have.
Like I'd go to Mexico or I don't know. I'd run away.
I'm saying maybe there's fines or something can happen, but to put you in jail, like you're gonna.
For drugs.
Yeah, or for like if they catch you fucking doing drugs, if you have a real problem, try to get him into rehab. Yeah. Like I don't understand if it's something that you're not a danger to other people. Right. I don't like locking a human up.
Yeah, victimless crimes should not put you in a situation where you're now for sure going to be victimized by another savage.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me that. Like I think that's something we have to look into.
But also,
again, it's legacy bullshit. It's just the way things have always been. But bro, people don't fucking question shit enough simply because they're not all thinking about things like we are. Like people are just busy with other jobs.
Yeah,
we're the ones we're philosophizing shit, and most people just don't.
Because I would think in jail you want to put him in behind bars. Yeah, because he's a danger, right? A rapist, a murderer. Yeah,
well, incidentally, when these guys are getting fucked in the ass because they had weed on them in jail, it doesn't affect like an average housewife who's washing a dish somewhere.
Yeah, not at all.
So therefore, no one gives a shit about these poor people, and it's really unfortunate. And probably when they get out of jail after all the trauma, they're probably going to want to get high.
Yeah, and they're going to probably do some crazy shit because then it's hard for you to get a job.
Guys have to spoon up your ass. Yeah, I'll smoke some meth.
Man, I know guys do that, ruin their lives like when they were young. Because then every time they'd get out of jail, they couldn't get a regular job because they were in jail and they had criminal records. And then they would always fall back into it, get caught again, go back in a couple of years, get back out, try to do the straight thing. They couldn't get a good job. They went back into crime. And it's just a vicious cycle. So I don't think if it's like you're right, victimless crime or something. I think if you're not a danger to society, you shouldn't be locked up.
Well, that's like the libertarian side of you, I suppose. That's
I guess,
thinking, which I agree with.
Because if you're not a danger, I don't agree with. Just like the death penalty. For me, the death penalty is very, very hard.
Although being a warden is got to be fun. Like, being a warden, you can just call a guy in your house, now get in my office, boy, have a seat.
And then you rape them.
I don't know. You just
that's what happens.
Get his autograph. Apparently, I heard
there's a lot of rape in prison, bro.
I heard Luca Magnotta has a boyfriend. I heard sells art online. There's like an
Etsy shop.
Well, all I know is like this guy's figured out life. If it's his kind of mindset where he's a gay guy who's a psycho, so prison is like not that big of a deal to him, and he sells art on the internet through I don't know who he knows that's doing it for him, but all I know is he I think he's like the envy of psychos in prison.
But that goes he needs to be in jail because he's he'll kill, right? He'll murder animals. Yeah. So you can't take a chance. But I remember years ago someone had brought up that I think it was Nigeria, maybe one of the African countries. What they did is because they were tired of homosexuals, they said if you're a homosexual, we're gonna put you in jail, where nothing gay ever happens. Like what is that? Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. First of all,
why are you gay?
Yeah, remember that?
Why are you gay?
But it doesn't make any sense because first of all, it's not like they're choosing to be gay or not. So it's not like, okay, I'm going to stop being gay so I don't go to jail. And then if you're gay and like, let's say you're gay, you have no job, you're homeless. You're like, I'm going to go inside there, blow dudes and eat. Like, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of this shit, you just do it because they think jail. It doesn't make sense.
But the woman in that African interview, when he goes, why are you gay?
She's like, I'm not gay.
Yeah. What is that? Even me, I'm just like, wait, what?
She's like, I'm not gay. And he looks at her, no, but why are you gay?
Yeah. Oh, goddamn.
Africans are funny.
But I think the best thing would be to decriminalize, like we were talking about earlier, like in Portugal they did.
Yeah.
And the rate of drug abuse.
Well, that's because now it's no longer considered drug abuse.
Plummeted.
So you have to be careful with stats too, right? Yeah, that's like saying the rate of people in prison ever since we stopped arresting rapists really went down. Yeah, because you don't arrest them anymore, but they're still...
so they played with that.
They didn't play with that. I mean, because you're going to get people who... then they're like, okay, well, it's not a crime anymore, so we have to help him. You know, he's not going to go to jail. We got to help him get rehab. There's a lot of that happening. I just think I don't like government involvement in personal lives too much. Like I don't like remember there used to be debates here of gay marriage and this and that. I don't even understand how the government ever had a right to tell anyone that they can't get married. Like I never understood that. How the fuck are you letting an external fuck you? It has nothing to do with you.
So what do you think about this then, to add to that? So in terms of libertarianism, like in Australia, they have this thing called no jab, no pay, where like
no job, no pay?
No jab, no pay. It's referring to vaccines.
Okay.
So this is pre-COVID stuff. So if your child does not get certain vaccines, the government will give the mother or the parents less money. And I think if you have more kids, you get like taxed less or something.
Okay.
So you get like basically financially somehow you get a diminishment. You get diminished financially for not vaccinating your children.
That's crazy.
That's
so
insane.
now on one hand, you could say, well, you know, it's important to have people vaccinated for polio and the basic shit.
Yeah.
Like before the pharma companies started injecting us with like fucking aluminum and whatever the fuck.
Yeah, mercury.
Like, because I think that's a Trojan horse too, by the way. I think that there's just because there's a history of good vaccines, does that mean that automatically it's impossible for a bad one to get it lumped in?
No, of course not. Yeah, and it's happened. It was the polio vaccine that had the mercury in the beginning, right? And then they had to stop it.
I don't even know. I don't know the history of polio. All I know is, yeah, like personally, would I rather my son has polio and not autistic, or autistic and not have polio? Which one would you choose? Polio or
Polio,
autism?
not autistic.
See, the thing is, like, first of all, we might already be autistic.
Yeah, we're fucking way beyond that point.
So both.
Yeah.
Let's
And then
do both.
your knee
Fuck
is
it.
inverted now. I don't know if that's any better. But I agree. I don't think the government should be able to essentially financially dominate someone with a threat like that. You know, I say, look, if everyone else is getting the polio vaccine, they'll be protected. If your kid's being raised like an Amish Australian person, that's your problem.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't like the fact that the governments will step in or anybody steps in to start segregating and separating people. Because I think now, especially in 2020, just the fact that subjects like this would come up, that you could make a decision to segregate or separate anyone, is crazy to me, because then we're not moving forward. We're not being progressive. Just like how for some reason we went from make sure that black people are represented and they're not getting fucked over. We went from that to white people are all evil. We went from stop being racist to you can be racist against specific people. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why are we going backwards? No, move forward. Color doesn't fucking matter. Move forward. Start judging people by who the fuck they are. Forget how the fuck do we let ourselves go backwards every couple of years? It's
it's simple. You have to grow more facial hair and become very ethnically Greek, and then I have to become, I don't know, Iranian.
No, but I don't want that. I don't want any favoritism.
No.
But in reality, I don't want any. I want people just to be judged on their fucking merit. You know, I don't. Yeah. I hate.
I did a bit about All Lives Matter actually right before the COVID happened again. One of those the Montreal comedy series shows there. So it didn't exactly go that well, but the people who appreciated it liked it. Anyways, so I did this bit where I was like, I keep seeing online, all lives matter, all lives matter. I think, what a waste of time to say it. Why would you say all lives matter? It's a waste of energy.
Say lives matter.
It's a given. Yeah. I was like, that being said, white power. So like, they think I'm.
Did you hear that?
Like,
hold on, repeat that.
He didn't hear it.
I was like, all lives. I keep seeing online, all lives matter, all lives matter. I think, that is just disgusting, because it's just a waste of time to say it. Of course, all lives matter. It's a given. That being said, white power.
That's funny.
You see, like, you expect me to say
he doesn't
Black
get
Lives
it.
Matter.
I don't get it.
He doesn't get it, but it's a funny joke.
Black Lives Matter is the opposite spectrum of saying white power.
Yeah.
In my view.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, though. But that's why it's funny, because it's also probably wrong.
Yeah, no, it is wrong. But it's funny.
Right.
First of all, what's funny is him saying that.
Because you expect, it's a left turn.
It's a left turn. That's all it is. Because he's going one way. You expect him to be inclusive, basically. Like, oh, why? They're right, though. Everybody, this is a given. And then he goes, by the way, white power. So,
and they know I'm joking because it's built up so obviously so disingenuous.
Yeah, he's also a Jew, so he's not exactly the KKK's favorite fucking person.
There's no anti-Semitic Zionists out there.
So
actually, maybe there are.
Maybe, I don't know.
The evangelicals who are
but
waiting for Christ.
he takes the turn where you're not expecting. That's what makes that funny.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, if it was a statement like, what's to do with these white people? Fuck white people. And they're like, well, or the same thing with black people. You'd be like, well, he didn't change anything. He's just
they thought
angry.
they thought I was randomly being one of those boring comics who were just virtue signaling a proper thing.
And then
which actually happens, by the way. It's so fucking bizarre.
Happens a lot, yeah.
You ever see someone who's like going all passionate, like, why don't you just go up there and be like, good things are good.
Yeah, why don't you just be funny?
Things are bad. It's like, okay, we get it. You're repeating shit we heard on CNN. Great. I don't give a fuck.
All this to say, Samson. I
have hamburgers.
Funny is king always. For me, funny wins at the end of the day. I'm just saying I don't like how I see people, I thought that progress was the goal. And then I see people regressing. And then when you don't agree with them, you're automatically a Viking. You're a fucking middle-aged person because you don't agree with a regressive way of seeing things.
all about humor, right? You got to lubricate the conversation. Was that a Mark Twain quote? You know, like if you're going to disagree with someone, be funny.
It sounds like something he'd say.
You know, which, I mean, that's kind of like, if you look at Trump's speeches, like, you know, a lot of the absurd shit he would say, you know, whether or not he truly believes it's true, he was also doing it in an entertaining, funny way oftentimes. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Even people like my mom who fucking hate him would laugh, but then be like, but fuck him. You know?
Yeah, I don't have that like a hate or anything. I thought it was
I'm not saying
entertaining.
the president needs to be funny.
No.
I'm just saying, like, you know,
But it helps.
it definitely helped him to say shit that otherwise could have really been blown into, like, you know, painting a picture of a much worse individual. I was like, look, I was always one of those people who said, look, don't compare him to Hitler because you're watering down the meaning of Hitler. It's that simple. And anybody who kept doing it, it made me realize it's not that they believe what they're saying is true. It's that that's just the thing they're doing. That's what they're cheering on now. That's the slogan.
That's the cult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, Poseidon doesn't like any comparisons to Hitler.
Why would you say something out loud because everyone else is saying it, but if you had to defend it,
you can't.
Exactly. So it's like, what is your reference? Well, everyone else is saying it. Well, now you sound like Trump, if anything.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are saying that I'm Hitler.
Yeah, not me. I'm not saying. That's the best part.
You
Is
should
him.
look up Bob DeBono on Instagram. He's a random guy from New York, but he does the fucking, not a random guy, like he's a known guy, but not a
Trump
big
impressions?
following. He has a low following, but the best Trump impression I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, there's some good Trump impressions out there.
Because he touched upon certain things, like something that I picked up on before I discovered him was that Trump does this. He goes,
Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
like he does the freezing face emoji right before he burns someone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So like little.
You mean the fag? I'm not calling him that. People have called him that. Like that's what he does. He'll say something, and the second he realizes, he's like, okay, that was a hard one. Bob said it, not me. You know, he does some of that shit.
He becomes Jackie Mason. It was my brother-in-law.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. But no, I don't think anyone. He's the TV guy. He's the goddamn host of The Apprentice. He's definitely not Pol Pot. That's fucking complete. He didn't even start a new war.
He's not Alex Trebek.
The first guy in forever, that could have started a new war and didn't. So,
R.I.P. By the way, I guess.
Alex Trebek.
I don't know how to play Wheel of Fortune, but
dude, Alex.
Sorry.
But you know what's crazy about Alex Trebek is he wasn't even dead a day. And they were online. All right, so who's gonna take over Page 6 and everything like that? And I was like, guys, wait a day because they're saying R.I.P. But then let's replace him. Wait one day, and then replace him. You know,
man, people are just savages.
Wait one day, or go ahead and do it, but don't pretend like you gave a shit and you're like R.I.P.
Yeah.
He's like, this is so sad. And then right after 4 minutes later, next article. So who should replace him? I think it should be this person. Like,
well, you notice the media always tells comedians like
it's too soon, yeah.
But then they do the most fucking absurd shit ever. Like with Kobe, when Kobe died, there was a journalist who put an article just emphasizing that he raped someone in 2003.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's like, so I said to myself, you know what, in the media, in a news article, that is absurd, but I bet this can become a joke. So literally like 4 days after he died, I was on stage and I was like, yes, you guys hear happened about Kobe Bryant? Yeah, apparently he raped someone in 2003. Yeah. like right after he died. You know?
Yeah, but that is a good joke at the time.
Now
I had a Kobe Bryant joke.
COVID bullet. At least he didn't have to go through COVID.
I had a Kobe Bryant
joke. That's why
joke.
they crashed it.
But I had a Kobe Bryant joke that didn't do well in the beginning because it was people found it way too soon, even a month in. Because I talked about how the different sports, some are just made tougher than others. And I was talking about how basketball players are kind of like soccer players. They're put like, a hockey player would have survived the fucking helicopter crash. Like, let's be honest here. And then people were like, oh, it's too soon. And I was like, all right, if it's too soon, then. Nah.
But Kobe was built different too. Like I kept watching videos the other night. It came up in my feed. Like this guy wouldn't flinch.
Dude, Kobe Bryant.
Oh, like in gameplay, you're saying?
Not just that. In general, in life, like there was a highlight reel. Man, some players would try to use the ball.
Oh no, that's a different. No, that's the you just saw an Instagram video. That wasn't a real thing. That was because you weren't watching the right angle.
Misinformation.
Yeah, that's misinformation.
Instagram.
I've seen the real angle of that game.
Oh no, but not just that. But
no, I know what you're talking about. With the ball in front of him, he doesn't flinch.
Can you imagine if
he's not actually in front of him? When you look at it from the side, he's actually here, and Kobe Bryant isn't even looking at him. He doesn't see it, but it's just the angle. Yeah.
How funny would it be if Poseidon was getting targeted by like Instagram censorship? Like,
but he was built differently. There's very few cases of guys like him. Kobe, Michael Jordan, even LeBron James. You could say whatever you want, but just the dominance in the sport is insane, bro. Yeah. It is insane. But to become like that, do you know how much work?
And to be entertaining nonetheless.
And to be entertaining.
Because GSP is a fucking machine. He's almost impossible to lose. But I noticed as he got older, he wanted to secure his fucking empire. Yeah. So he would fight less on his feet and more like wrestling and grappling and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even about seeing like how hard he could kick someone's ass.
No, it was about him winning.
Strategic and you know, being a technician up there, I guess. But if I want to see an entertaining fight, like back in the day when I saw like John Jones versus like Stephen Bonner,
Okay.
like at the UFC show they used to have, where like Jones was a young guy, probably on blow still.
Oh, yeah, for sure back then.
Suplexing the guy, spinning, elbowing the guy. I was like, how does this guy not surrender or something? Like the guy's literally throwing you, might as well throw you into a ceiling fan at that point, and wrap his leg around your neck.
Well, Jones, whether coke or not, I don't know what that matters. Insane athlete.
Yeah.
Insane.
I just
dude.
like the fact about him that he was also a crazy guy in real life, because it just plays into the whole like Tyson image, like he's
Yeah.
like a bad guy, but it's like an anti-hero kind of
Well,
guy.
what did he do? He had the last time he got in trouble was when he was high on coke.
Car
He was
crash, I think.
driving. He hit a pregnant woman or some shit,
Something
Jesus.
and then he ran away.
God damn. God damn.
So yeah, he's
This guy's something else.
yeah, he's a character. Yeah. But dude, guys like this, man, like
So that rhino testicle hormone.
is that what he was taking? Some
Who
shit like
knows?
that.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I think they all do.
But he, dude, there's a handful of people that we don't appreciate because you don't think about as much. But Kobe Bryant was one of those guys. They gave us so much, so fucking much, and because the amount of practice that goes into that shit to be that good.
Doesn't that remind you of kind of like what's going on with 50 Cent now? So like because 50 Cent said something that was right wing, or he sided.
But it's not even right wing. He talks about taxes. I'm with him on that.
No, I'm saying like what they perceived it as.
Yeah.
Just
They
because he
perceive
said,
everything as-
I don't want to be 20 Cent. Oh, cancel him out.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's nuts.
isn't it fucking sad? Because like all these years of like his great music, like In the Club is like how I grew up. Fuck.
Yeah.
So like I there's no way that this guy is gonna like entertain me so much over the course of my life, and on overnight I'm just gonna like shut off.
Yeah, because apparently Whoopi Goldberg was arguing with someone too because they said something against the Democrats or something. So she lost her mind with like a regular fan. I heard some shit like that. People are taking, like I said, now it's cults. Now it used to be when I was growing up,
It's
debates.
just sad though. It's like
used to
50
debate.
Cent, like he should be like he should have immunity from the media.
I don't think
Some
he
sort of
should.
immunity.
You know what would have helped if he didn't care because apparently he retracted his statement or whatever.
Yeah, he did.
He should have been like, "Shut the fuck! You're not gonna.
Yeah.
You're a blonde white lady. You're not gonna tell me if
Yeah.
I'm black or not. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
absurd.
that
Jimmy
hurt him.
Fallon's response was, wait, what did he say? What? Like as if he deserved it somehow.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. What did he say? He
hate
said
it.
he doesn't want to pay
I hate
more
it.
taxes. Oh my god.
No one likes him though. I don't know a soul who's like, oh, I gotta watch Fallon.
No, nobody likes him. No, nobody normal likes him. But people that don't have opinions, that are waiting for the TV to give them an opinion, they love him because he's like, "What's up, guys?" That stupid fake laugh.
But also now by retracting, he also lost that gangster persona.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Because he's still been viewed as the guy who got shot 9 times. The gangster came back, made
he-
rap, this, that. Now it's like, okay, now you listen to a white lady, bro. Like,
Chelsea Handler.
you know? So
It's true. It's kind of like
I
all the
think-
people that he's busted a cap in their ass, and
Yeah.
Chelsea Handler walks and tells him how to be black.
exactly. Like I think he should have doubled down.
I think-
if he had turned around and was like, "Fuck you, bitch! You ain't gonna talk just because I fucked you in the fucking ass or something crazy." I
Yeah, he
was like,
should.
"Yo,
Yeah,
50 Cent,"
yeah, he should have
you
been
know?
crazy. He should have been crazy.
now
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm like,
one day
come
black
on,
people
bro.
will tell her how to be white.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
That's what he should. Then he goes, "Let me tell you how to be white."
Good job for setting up that revenge dynamic. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, this
Don't
is
people
so-
realize what comes around goes around? Like in politics, like Republicans, Democrats, they always use this thing where it's like, if you fuck us, don't forget we can always fuck you back.
Yeah.
Until all the media sides with one side, but at a certain point in time, it was like that.
Yeah, not anymore. Now it's
Now it's like shit. We have to fucking convince Jack Dorsey to stop censoring the president.
that's funny though. I don't
God.
agree with it. I hate the fact that they do that shit, but I just think it's a ridiculous time. Anywho, Samson, where do you want them to follow you?
Instagram at Samson Cooperman. I'm no longer really using Facebook anymore. So just one thing. It's
Just
better that
IG.
way.
It's better
just
that
IG. Focus on one thing, and we'll see what happens. I have 1 year of school left. Got things coming up with comedy.
Well, hopefully we get back to normal here so we
Yeah.
can start doing some comedy.
Look, it's a rough patch in life for all of us, but you got to just keep your goals oriented, and keep following the timeline of what you got to get done. Right.
I said it. We're still alive. We're healthy. That's a win for me. So I'm happy. I'm producing all this stuff. People are watching our shit. I can't ask for anything more. I'm happy. The Poseidon69 on Instagram and Twitter for this weirdo. Samson Cooperman. His link is in the description. Follow him on Instagram. He's always putting crazy stories up there. Patreon.com/Pantelis for all of my stuff. And that is all you're going to get. Go fuck yourselves.